Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the J22 Report. I am your host, Johnnie Market. You all know that drill. Hit that like button, subscribe if you already haven't, and just do a little disclaimer. Nothing said on this podcast should be construed as financial investment advice, just my opinions, my thoughts on the market. And I just want to do Bitcoin today because everyone talks about it, and I've never seen such froth and bullish sentiment. And this is why I think Bitcoin you can still trade. But looking at just some of the stuff, if this doesn't reach top, I don't know what it is. And so let's just some of the news. Bitcoin gains as Trump, plans executive order. So that's the first thing. Just how Trump's going to save everything. Remember, Bitcoin was at like 65K. Trump got elected, it's to 100K. And then if you ask me why the government plans to buy 1 million Bitcoin, and in my opinion, if you look at this, they plan on buying 1 million Bitcoin. This sounds like the reverse of brown bottom. If you don't know what brown bottom is, it's when the UK government actually sold gold in the early 2000s. Gold was at $200, and then it went on to rally to 11-year bull market to 1900. And generally, government buying is a sign of a top when it comes to these things, not a sign of a bottom or a prolonged bull market. Here's the other one. I'm not, in terms of frothy sentiment, I want to get this off. I saw this on Kiko, which is a gold site. They rarely do gold videos anymore. Bitcoin will replace fiat by 2050. 300-year pattern explains. Future of golden trade will shift away from fiat and embrace Bitcoin. So basically, governments will be trading with Bitcoin. So if you ask me, that is governments giving up their currencies and going in Bitcoin. And then I remember a lot of people used to buy Bitcoin will save us from a dollar crash. I don't think there will be a dollar crash, but I think dollar currencies. But just looking at all those things, like this is what just the common people think. I remember I went Peter Lynch did a book, One Up on Wall Street, and he said if you see cab drivers or everything buying, that's a sign of getting out. And I remember I was at Hooters. I said this in other videos. Someone was talking about Bitcoin being a store value and that he buys $1 a day. I'm not joking. And just looking at all those things, like right now, Bitcoin's at 102K. It's right here, you can see. Here's a quote from Sir John Templeton. Bull markets are born on pessimism, but you can wipe out. If you think those articles sound pessimist, then, you're entitled to your opinion. They grow on skepticism, mature on optimism, and die on euphoria. Do you think these sound optimistic or more euphoric, where governments are going to give up their own currencies, meaning their own dollars, and just use Bitcoin? I just don't believe governments and saving us from a dollar crash. I don't see this in the optimism. In my opinion, if you ask, that's more in the euphoric stage. I mean, it doesn't mean it can't go higher. And this is what I think. I mean, this guy I'm going to send, this is an analyst I follow. This is Elliott Wave Trader, Ryan Wilday. Which I mean, I personally think this could happen, but here's the article. Shut off the narrative. You might miss the top. Now, in 2016, these people called for Bitcoin to be 100K in 2016 when it was crazy. Just want to see if there is an article way. These are not, but if you look at it, 4 degrees of confluence between 125 to 195. That's what he says. And then he has all this stuff about Elliott wave jargon. And this is the interesting. He says the fact that I've given key levels of time should be surprised, calling for a bottom in 2018 at 3K. But what is next? And this is here. However, the size of this wave 4 can dip as low as 10K to 3K. And I see the probability that is low. And he eventually sees it extending towards 1 to 3, uh, 1 million to 3 million. But little progress over the 5 to 10 years. So if you are bullish at Bitcoin, remember, you buy now. This is quite a dip to as low as 3K or 10K. It's 102K right now. It's losing a lot of money. And even though he says start a multi-decade march, there's no guarantee this will be a long time to 1 to 3 million. Now, will I start getting Bitcoin stuff when it goes back down to this? Yeah. You're bullish on Bitcoin, in my opinion, just wait 10 years. I think this guy's right. I don't know what you think. But if you look at this, I personally think if you look at it, I've told this many times, it goes completely with the NASDAQ. And I think Bitcoin's a levered play on the stock market. And I see a stock market coming up. So if you think there's going to be a stock market bear market, you should think the same for Bitcoin. If you think the stock market's going to be a ferocious bull market the next 10 years, you should think the same for Bitcoin. Remember, the stock market and Bitcoin are they're like this. They're buddies. Bitcoin's not a pain trade. It never was. And that's what I'm saying. So anyway, just my opinion, my thoughts, nothing construed as financial investment advice, but know what Bitcoin is. So it's not a pain trade. It's not any, all the things they said have not been true. Privacy, you don't have any. Dissidents have been tracked. Patrick Casey and Nick Fuentes were two of them. Donations to them in Bitcoin, they track the people in France. So all the stuff, decentralized, it's a lie. It's not decentralized. Governments are buying. Cuba. So know what it is. That's the main thing. It is a play on the stock market, on the NASDAQ. The same reason buy Tesla is why you buy Bitcoin. Anyone that tells you different, it's currency, it's money, it's the people's money, they're stupid. And there's a lot out there. And people say they're smart too. That's the sad thing. So, best quote, don't confuse a bull market with a brain. So, anyway, when Bitcoin goes down to those levels, I'll be interested. But I think the run, based on my opinion, and the euphoria, the sentiment, it's probably almost over. All right. Have a good one.